Welcome to season number 2 here in the Penn State basketball dynasty. Thank you guys for the support in season 1, but season 2 is gonna be a whole different beast as we now have a freshman phenom at point guard and Dexter Monroe taking over for Shiro Takihara. Monroe is a different player though. He can shoot the lights out. 98 three-point shot. I'm excited to use that. And then we have another incoming freshman who should have a big impact off the bench in Senso Mancinelli. He is going to be a guy that can stretch the floor. He has 83 three-point shot. The only weakness of his is his defense. He's going to need some development there, and he's kind of 69 overall right now, 70 plus with morale. And then we have Adelson Covington, who I really like. He's a guy that's probably going to be, you know, a 3 or 4 year player on this Penn State squad. I don't think he's ever going to be a star, but a guy that can shoot. So I definitely wanted to add that in the offseason. During signing day, we saw some transfer guys, and the first transfer portal transfer was Zach Edey. He goes over to Auburn, and Purdue ends up drafting or actually signing 4 freshmen to take his spot. They are in a true rebuild. Our rival Ohio State drafted a very good big man in Vacan Colati. He's going to be a very, very good player out of the gate for them. And then the #1 player in the country ended up signing with Kansas, Matthew Davis Spencer. They have the best roster in the country right now, so it's going to be fun to see them. And then today we go up against UConn in the opener. Adama Sanogo is 91 overall. I think that is the highest overall guy in the NCAA right now. And it's going to be a tough matchup for us today, as we're going to have our work cut out. Andre Jackson Jr. is a guy that can score as well, so we definitely have to defend both of those guys. And we'll see what this Penn State squad looks like here in season 2 to open this season. I'm excited for this season because we have 1 year under our belt. We know what we want to do on offense now, and we kind of have an identity. I kind of want to stretch the floor a little bit and really have shooters from all 5 positions, maybe except not Tyrone Jones. But there could be a lineup where I see, you know, the freshman in there, and he could, you know, we could have 5 shooters on the floor. But here's what the starting lineup is going to look like. Like I said, Mancinelli is going to be in there at the 5 at times, just to see what it looks like to have, you know, shooters all around. But one thing I did not highlight too much last year, and it was our head coach, Daniel Weber. I hired him to be kind of a high potential guy, maybe not a guy that's going to develop guys right away, but his offense and defense is at a like half star right now, as you can see right there, and his potential is at a almost 5 stars. So I think he's not on the hot seat, but it's something to look out for. We finally have proper mentorship. Evan Vasquez is a junior this year. He's going to be mentoring Dexter Monroe, getting him some of those shooting badges. And then Malachi Macklin actually has some shooting badges. I'm going to have him mentor Senso Mancinelli. Mancinelli is a guy that I'm excited to develop. He's at 69 overall right now, but I am looking forward to the development of these players, especially this season with Adelson Covington as a shooter as well. And then just looking at what the badges are, like blinders, which is you know, guys coming up won't really affect your 3-point shot. Hopefully he will get that badge. That would be awesome. Some small logistics here. We're going to play quarter length 7 minutes, and then simulated quarter length this year, which is kind of normalizing the stats to the minutes. That will be at 11, because I did not like the average rebounds last year. The points per game was fine, but I just want to see the rebounds up a little bit, so that's the change we will make. So without further ado, season 2 underway as Tyrone Jones wins the tip-off, and the senior, he will have to be a leader this year. And here is Vasquez now starting out the offense for the first possession of season number 2. Dexter Monroe, the freshman, sends a pick, a wide open 2. That's off for the first shot of this season. Here goes UConn the other way. Oh, there is a pass inside, and that's Sanogo, their best player and one of the best rated players in the country. He gets UConn going with a dunk. Here's Dexter Monroe, a quick 3 off of the screen, and that's good. Monroe's going to take a ton of threes. I'm not going to lie. We're going to need to obviously learn his hot spots and everything. Deep 2 this time for Monroe. That one is going to be off. And we're just going to get used to his shot. You're going to see a lot of shots taken from him today. There's a nice block from Tyrone Jones, and here we go the other way. Good defense by Jones. Jones is hopefully going to average a double-double this year. I'm expecting like probably a 10-10 average. That is my prediction. Monroe, pick and roll. Oh, good find. That's Jones to the basket. You're going to see a lot of that too. One thing with Dexter Monroe, 98 speed with the ball. 6-5 game early on. UConn has the 1-point lead here. Jones inside, pump fake over Sanogo. That is going to be good. Jones is going to be a guy that could be our leading scorer some nights. Good start here for Penn State. A couple of good possessions early on. Here is a pick and roll. Getting to the basket is Vasquez. He finds Macklin under the hoop. That's good. Macklin is going to be a guy that hopefully can average close to a double-double as well, along with Tyrone Jones. Here's a drive to the basket. Oh, and there's a nice block that time by Evan Vasquez, avoiding the dunk right there. Almost a poster on him. More pick and roll action, and Tyrone Jones. This is going to be fun to watch. Those two running this pick and roll. Dexter Monroe, he gets to the basket pretty easy. Like I said, that kind of comparison that I have for him is Derrick Rose. Shot from the outside. That one's off for Monroe. As here we go, just trying to get him going. Another three from the outside. And that one's off. So he's missed a few threes early on. Here he is handling the ball this time. Getting to the basket. Pass inside. Another one for Tyrone Jones. You've seen this quite a bit, and that's what we have to do. Run that high pick and roll. Because now there's a 13-13 game. Wide open three that time for UConn. And they have the early 3-point lead here. Penn State trying to really just get going from outside. Here is Mancinelli. He misses the three, but an offensive rebound by Malik Banks. And that's a good start to this season there. A 16-15 game. UConn staying with Penn State, though. But obviously trying to get the freshman going, Dexter Monroe. Start of the second quarter. Here is a pick and roll, and that is going to be the first basket from Freddie Gillespie. Now, Freddie Gillespie will be renamed to one of you guys. It's going to be in an upcoming episode, so not yet. But he is a walk-on freshman as Dexter Monroe hits his second three of the game. He is 2 of 6 from 3 already through about 1.5 quarters. Monroe, more pick and roll action. And there is Senso Mancinelli. He gets his first bucket of his career here at Penn State. 24-22 now. UConn up by 2. Here is Adelson Covington passing inside to Jones. Jones gets his man off the ground, and that's enough to get a wide open dunk under the basket. You can just see the pick and roll is kind of working today, but we're going to, continue to run some plays as well. Here's Covington, the freshman from the outside. He has that catch and shoot badge. Hopefully that can progress to, a gold or a Hall of Fame status. Here he is for another open three, and that one is going to rim around. Jones with the rebound to end the second quarter, and he cannot put it up and in. So a good start here to this season for Penn State, and that's how we go into halftime with a early 3-point lead. So second half action now. Let's see if we can hold this lead and get our first dub. Here is Evan Vasquez playing some good defense that time. In transition, finding Malachi Macklin. Can't even talk. So excited right there. Macklin, 6 points. Tyrone Jones got 10 points. Our big men are leading the charge so far. Dexter Monroe, another pick. He goes all the way to the basket this time. That's the difference. You don't always have to throw the roll. Sometimes Monroe's just going to get to the basket and draw a foul because he's so fast. Here's a pass on the inbound. Oh, good find to Caravan. That one's good. UConn staying within 2. They're using a lot of shot clock on their possessions, and that's why this game is so low scoring. Here's Klingen inside. That one's good. And that one is over Mancinelli. 2-point lead here for UConn. Monroe from the outside. Another miss from 3. 2 of 7 from deep. Sanogo the other way, as now they have another possession, 36-34. Working around. This is Spring from the outside. That's good. Another 3 hit by UConn, 39-34. As now here we are with the 5-point deficit. Malik Banks off the bench. He's going to play a big role this season. A deep 2. That one's off. as UConn now has the 8-point lead. You can just see they're going on a run here. Malik Banks out to Mancinelli, trying to get his man off the ground. Gets it kind of pushed away from the basket. Banks from the outside. That's good. Okay, Banks, he's just got to get some shots. He has that volume shooter badge, which means he's got to get a lot of shots up in order to get going. And here's Mancinelli getting a couple of boards that time, and he gets the foul drawn on him. He goes to the line. He's actually playing pretty good basketball off of the bench. About 5 points, 4 rebounds, as now he goes to the line for his second free throw. That one is good. So a 3-point game now. Here Andy Skips checks into the game, and he is more of a hustle guy. But here is Monroe, who gets ripped at the top. And here goes UConn the other way, setting up the offense. Backdoor cut to the basket. It's Jackson Jr. again. He has been killing us today. And now UConn is up by 5 into the fourth quarter. 6 minutes to go. Dexter Monroe gets the pick from Malachi Macklin. Here's a good pass to him on the left block, and somehow Malachi cannot convert that one. Here goes Sanogo the other way. On the basketball, a pass to Karabin, and that's good. It's a dunk and a 7-point lead here for UConn. We need a couple of stops and a couple of baskets. Here's Macklin inside, and that's a foul. Sanogo has 4. One more foul, and he is out. Just over 4.5 minutes to go. There's a missed deep 2, I believe. His foot was on the line. Evan Vasquez misses that one. And here goes UConn the other way. Here's a pass. It's Jackson Jr. again. The drive and a block, but they will call a foul on Macklin. And now it is up to a 9-point game. 51-42. Jones using his strength, getting to the basket, and they're going to call a foul on Sanogo, so their best defender is going to be out. And Tyrone Jones goes to the line, and he is such a good foul shooter. He knocks down the first and will hit the second. He's got 12 points today. Only 2 points in the second half, though. 51-44. Here's Evan Vasquez getting a pick. It's a pass to Macklin, and it's a 5-point game. Good dunk right there from Malachi. 51-46 again. Here's a drive and a block that time. Tyrone Jones. And here we go the other way. And we try to work the ball up the court to Jose Springer, and it knocks off the back of a defender. So that is a lost possession right there. 3 minutes to go. Jackson Jr. has been taken over today. A drive to the basket, and Tyrone, he will get called for the foul. As Andre Jackson Jr., 16 points today. He goes to the line. He misses the first but hits the second. And now we are down by 6, 2.5 to go. Malik Banks now, step back. Oh, I thought he was going to take that 3. He loves that shot right there. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Banks, he's going to try to drive. He gets inside, and that one's blocked. Maybe a bad possession right there. No play call that time. It was just an isolation. 52-46. Here's a drive to the basket. Turn around, left hook shot. That's good. UConn is tearing us up, and it's led by Jackson Jr. An 8-point lead here for UConn. And now about 2 minutes to go. Here is Dexter Monroe from the outside. He takes the corner 3. That one's in and out. It seems like we can't get any consistency with Monroe today, but it is only his first collegiate game. I'm not too concerned. An 8-point game now. Here's Karabin in the post. A long hook shot. That's good. Over Tyrone Jones. And that will do it. UConn goes on to win this one by 12. What a dagger right there. An impossible shot over our best defender. And we start out 0-1, much like last season. But I did see some encouraging signs, which were a lot different. We actually took the 3 here. We took 10 threes with Monroe, only 2 of 10. Don't expect that, to kind of stay up. I'm pretty sure he's going to break that pretty easily, especially with a 98 3-point rating. But we did see some good things, obviously, in the first half more than the second. Tyrone Jones getting going with 10 points in the first half. I would expect, 12, 14 points is what he's going to give us a game. Then they killed us on the free throw line. That was kind of where, we kind of, fell a little bit in that one. We are 0-1. We go into our second matchup, this time versus Villanova, and from the jump, it wasn't even close. Villanova just jumped out to a lead, but then we started to come back a little bit in the fourth, but ended up losing by 12. But this is the first game that all 5 of our starters scored in double digits. I don't think that happened at all last season. And you can just see Malachi Macklin went 5 of 13, all of his shots for threes, 5 of 13. Our next 2 games, unfortunately, I did actually play these, but something happened with our capture card, and obviously the footage is not there. So I will show you the final stats, and these games were significant because they had 2 big players, 2 big freshmen that we were going up against. First was Aaron Hoffman, who ended up going, who was ranked number 2 in the high school rankings last year, and in signing day he ended up going to Houston. He is averaging around 20 points a game. He had 25 versus us, but we get our first victory here versus them. And you can just see right here, he led their team in scoring. But look at us, Malachi Macklin at 24. Another game where he went 8 of 14 from the field, and all of his shots for 3. He went 8 of 14 from 3. And then how about Malik Banks in only 23 minutes, scoring 24 points, 9 of 11. Look at the threes in this game. Malik Banks went 3 of 3. Monroe went 5 of 8. Evan Vasquez went 3 of 3. A very good victory right there. A whole lot of threes, and that's kind of going to be our identity. We're not going to chuck up the 3, but we're definitely going to be a 3-point shooting team. We're going to space the floor. And then the next game, I'm kind of mad because I played this entire game and then the capture card messed up. Kyle Tucson and Jalen St. Brown highlight Louisville's team, and we end up getting a victory here, a big one. How about Jalen St. Brown? He scored 35 in this game. He was like chucking up shots like no other. I mean, every time he got the ball, he wanted to shoot. But we ended up getting the victory, though. It was a pretty big victory. Dexter Monroe went 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. He had a good game, 24 points, his career high. Evan Vasquez, 22. He shot the 3 ball well. And this was kind of the game that I would imagine what our box score would look like with these 3 guys kind of leading us in scoring. Mancinelli had 18 points. I was very, very shocked. He came off the bench and had a pretty good game offensively. And then Tyrone Jones, great rebounding game. This is what I expect from him. 12 points, 15 rebounds. So we are 2-2 to start the season, and so far we have seen some ups and downs. Dexter Monroe got right and ended up having a big game. 16.8 points leads our team, and he leads our team in assists as well. One thing I want to point out is Tyrone Jones averaging that double-double. I expect him to do that the entire season. And then Senso Mancinelli being the 6th leading scorer on the team is actually kind of surprising. I did not expect that. I either thought Jose Springer would be there or even, you know, a guy like Covington. But you can just see right here, Covington is shooting 43% from 3. Evan Vasquez is shooting 50% from, or Malik Banks is shooting 50% from 3. Macklin shooting 41% from 3. And then Monroe's also shooting 40% from 3. So we are actually shooting very, very well from deep. And I expect that to keep up, hopefully, throughout the year. So we are 2-2, and I think we're off to a good start. You know, a goal of mine is to have a defense that is giving up less than 100 points a game, and then have a points per game total of at least 108. So we are kind of below our target mark, but I think we can get there with a couple of big games offensively from Monroe, but we'll see. Hope you guys enjoy Season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed Season 1, but Season 2 is going to be a lot of fun. Going to have some star matchups, and we'll see what happens here in our second season. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side, but I'm from the east side. This how we slide, this how we ride, yeah, yeah.